Imagine beating a $24 million case, walking out free, and the first thing you do is launch a pen at the paparazzi. That's Cardi B in 2025. Cardi B walked into that Los Angeles County Courthouse on September 2nd with $24 million hanging over her head. Think about that, $24 million. That's not pocket change, that's change your whole career money. Former security guard Amani Ellis had been claiming since 2018 that Cardi assaulted her while pregnant with Culture, saying Cardi threw a microphone, spat on her, even hurled racial slurs. Heavy accusations, the kind that can stain an artist forever if a jury believes them. But instead of folding under pressure, Cardi came in swinging. With her words, not a pen this time. She took the stand and gave the jury a raw, emotional look into her life back then. Picture this, Cardi already a global superstar, pregnant, exhausted, and just trying to get through doctor's visits. She denied every accusation and called the whole thing what it looked like to her, a cash grab. She told them flat out, "I was dealing with pregnancy struggles. I would never risk my baby like that." And the jury, they believed her. Not just a little, unanimously. They came back with not liable across the board, slamming the door on Ellis's $24 million payday. Fans online joked that Cardi had just rapped her way through the legal system. But the truth is, this wasn't just a win, it was survival. Cardi's entire brand is built on authenticity, on being that girl who says exactly what she feels. A guilty verdict here could have been career-shaking, maybe even worse than any beef she's been in. Instead, she walked out of that courthouse untouchable, flashing victory energy like she just went platinum again. But here's the twist. This wasn't the end of the drama. Because while Cardi had just dodged a financial nuke in the courtroom, outside those doors was a whole different kind of bomb waiting to drop. One question, one reporter, and one pen later, Cardi's victory lap turned into a viral meltdown. And trust me, you're gonna want to hear how that unfolded. Real quick before we dive deeper, only about 20% of the people who watch our videos are actually subscribed. Let's change that right now. Hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of the wild drama we cover. On paper, Ellis's $24 million lawsuit looked like it could stick. She painted a picture of Cardi as this aggressive superstar who lashed out physically and verbally at a pregnant woman in a doctor's office back in 2018. Ellis claimed she was traumatized, humiliated, and deserved a payday big enough to retire off of. But once the trial actually got rolling, the holes in her story started showing faster than a leaky faucet in a cheap Airbnb. First off, evidence, or more accurately, the lack of it. No solid video, no reliable witnesses backing up the wildest accusations. And the timeline? Messy. Ellis's version of events had gaps you could drive a tour bus through. Cardi's lawyers leaned on that hard, pointing out inconsistencies that made the jury raise their eyebrows like, "Really? That's your story?" Meanwhile, Cardi sat in court giving emotional testimony, talking about the physical pain and stress she endured while carrying Culture. She emphasized that there was no way she would ever spit on or attack someone while fighting to protect her pregnancy. That vulnerability hit the jury different. It wasn't Cardi the celebrity, it was Cardi the mother. Another factor, motive. Cardi called the whole thing a cash grab. And honestly, it felt like the jury agreed. The idea that Ellis had waited years to drop this lawsuit, right at the height of Cardi's fame, made it sound less like justice and more like jackpot hunting. And in a civil trial, credibility is everything. Ellis lost hers piece by piece until the jury just wasn't buying what she was selling. So when the verdict came down unanimous, Cardi not liable on all counts, it wasn't just relief for her, it was a total rejection of Ellis's narrative. For Cardi, this wasn't just about winning money, it was about clearing her name and proving she wasn't the monster painted in those claims. And yet, as clean as that courtroom win was, the mess waiting outside proved you can't always escape drama just by beating the case. Because the second she stepped into the flashing cameras, a whole new storm came her way. And this time, it involved offset, digs, and a pen with better aim than half the NFL. So picture this. Cardi B just left the courthouse after body slamming a $24 million lawsuit out of existence. The cameras are flashing, the paparazzi are yelling, and she's got that "I told y'all" walk. For 1 second, it looked like Cardi was about to enjoy her victory lap. But then boom, the moment that broke the internet. A reporter decided this was the perfect time to ask about the most disrespectful rumor swirling online, that Cardi was pregnant again, but not by Offset, by NFL star Stefon Diggs. Now Cardi's no stranger to shady questions. She's clapped back 1,000 times before, sometimes with words, sometimes with facial expressions so sharp they could cut glass. But this was next level. Instead of a witty one-liner, she grabbed the nearest pen and yeeted it across the crowd like she was in the Super Bowl halftime show. That pen left her hand with more accuracy than some quarterbacks. Twitter immediately said she had better aim than Zach Wilson. The crowd gasped, security froze, and the clip was already uploading to X before the pen even hit the ground. Fans couldn't believe what they saw. Some were like, "That's assault with a deadly Bic." Others defended her, saying the reporter crossed a serious line by dragging her personal life into a courthouse exit. And the moment Cardi shouted, "Don't ask me about my personal life," you could hear years of bottled-up frustration explode all at once. It wasn't just about Offset or Diggs, it was about being treated like a tabloid headline instead of a human being. And here's the thing, this meltdown didn't ruin her. It made her go viral again. Memes were everywhere. Slowed down edits of the pen toss with dramatic music, TikToks comparing it to Tom Brady's passes, even fans saying, "She threw that pen harder than Nicki threw subs." You couldn't scroll without seeing it. But the big question everyone was left with was, why did the Diggs rumor in particular send her over the edge? And that's where we have to talk about the messy triangle of Offset, divorce papers, and an NFL star who suddenly found himself trending for all the wrong reasons. Here's where the whole situation starts feeling less like a courtroom recap and more like a reality TV plotline. Cardi didn't just throw that pen because a random reporter annoyed her. Nah, the question tapped directly into one of the messiest chapters of her life, her ongoing split from Offset. Back in July 2025, she filed for divorce, officially pulling the plug on years of on-again, off-again drama with the Migos rapper. Fans were already picking sides, speculating if Offset's infidelity history finally caught up to him, or if Cardi just wanted her peace. Either way, the divorce papers were real, and so was the heartbreak. Enter Stefon Diggs. The Buffalo Bills star wide receiver had been linked to Cardi since early 2025, after they were spotted together at clubs and private events. Nothing was ever confirmed, but in the world of celebrity gossip, denial only fuels the fire. Suddenly, you had blogs running headlines like, "From touchdowns to takeovers," and fans joking that Cardi was trading trap beats for playbooks. So when that reporter outside court blurted out a question about her supposedly being pregnant with Diggs' child, that wasn't just rude, it was gasoline poured on an already blazing fire. The gossip storm hit instantly. Offset's name trended right next to Diggs's, and memes painted Cardi as the star of her own crossover episode, Love and Hip Hop NFL Edition. Some fans laughed it off, others clutched their pearls, and a few started spinning conspiracy theories. Was the reporter tipped off to ask that question to stir the pot? Because let's be real, nothing drives clicks like a messy love triangle. But the deeper layer here is that Cardi was in a fragile moment. She had just finished an emotional trial, talked about her pregnancy struggles, and defended herself against heavy allegations. To then be hit with a paternity question felt like an ambush, like the media was saying her personal life wasn't hers anymore. No wonder she launched that pen like a missile. And yet, as wild as that reaction was, the internet wasn't done amplifying it. The next chapter of this drama wasn't about Offset or Diggs at all. It was about fans, haters, and social media doing what they do best, turning a heated moment into a cultural event. If you've been on X lately, you already know. The pen toss became the meme of the week. Within hours, clips of Cardi's courtroom exit racked up over 2,000 likes, and the quote tweets were hilarious. One fan wrote, "She threw that pen like it was a Grammy she didn't want," while another posted a slow-mo edit with NFL commentary over it. And Cardi delivers the perfect spiral. Even ESPN fans jumped in, joking that the Bills should sign her as Diggs' replacement. But it wasn't just jokes. Cardi herself logged on, clearly exhausted, and dropped a tweet that got nearly 1,000 likes. "I'm tired of these lawsuits. I just want to be with my babies." That one line hit fans right in the feels. People rallied behind her saying, "She's a mom first, rapper second, respect that." Others praised her for protecting her boundaries in a world that constantly tries to cross them. It was Bardi gang in full force, defending their queen like it was another round in the Nicki verses. Cardi stan wars. Of course, not everyone was cheering. Critics chimed in, calling the pen toss unprofessional and saying Cardi has a temper problem that overshadows her music. Some even claimed the meltdown proved Ellis's point in court, even though the jury had already cleared Cardi. The split reactions kept her trending for over 24 hours, with debates spilling into Instagram comments and YouTube reaction videos. Love her or hate her, people couldn't stop talking. And this is the magic of Cardi B. Even her angriest moments turn into viral content. What could have been a PR nightmare morphed into meme fuel and sympathetic mom energy at the same time? But here's the kicker. Cardi didn't just sit back and watch the internet run with it. She took that chaos and flipped it into marketing gold the very next day, proving once again that she knows how to turn drama into dollars. Only Cardi B could turn a lawsuit, a pen toss, and a messy rumor into an album rollout moment. Less than 24 hours after the courthouse chaos, she dropped a brand new cover for her Am I the Drama album, this one cheekily titled The Courtroom Edition. And the art? Pure gold. Cardi sits there in a full judge's robe, rocking heels, holding a gavel like she's about to sentence the industry to hard time. It was part clapback, part comedy, and all Cardi. Fans went crazy, calling her Marketing B because who else could take a meltdown moment and flip it into hype like that? This move showed exactly why Cardi keeps winning outside of music too. Every time people try to drag her down, lawsuits, gossip, shady reporters, she doesn't just defend herself, she capitalizes on it. That cover instantly started trending on Instagram and X, with fans posting side-by-sides of her pen toss and the gavel pic like, she really went from throwing big pens to banging gavels in 24 hours. The timing was no accident either. She knows the culture moves fast, and if you don't feed it, it eats you alive. Cardi flipped the narrative before anyone else could. What's wild is how fans turned it into a cultural moment. Some said she was channeling Judge Judy energy, others compared her to Phoenix Wright from the Ace Attorney video games, objection pose and all. The memes kept the story alive even longer, giving her album promo a boost without needing a single press release. It's classic Cardi. Take the negative, spin it into a spectacle, and watch people eat it up. But as much as that gavel photo screamed victory, the fight wasn't technically over. Because while Cardi was celebrating online, Ellis's legal team was already whispering about an appeal. And that means Cardi's courtroom saga might just be entering its sequel. The only question is, will she keep turning lawsuits into leverage, or will the pressure finally catch up to her? Just when Cardi thought she could finally close this chapter, here comes the sequel nobody asked for. Ellis's team already talking about an appeal. That means another round of lawyers, depositions, and headlines, dragging Cardi's name back into the courtroom spotlight. But if there's one thing Cardi made crystal clear after this win, it's that she's done playing defense. She told reporters and fans that she's planning to countersue anyone who comes at her with what she calls nefarious accusations. Translation: if you try to use her name for a quick payday, she's flipping the script and coming for your wallet instead. And honestly, that's not just talk. Cardi has built her career on controlling her own narrative. She's been through lawsuits, rap beefs, messy divorces, and still managed to top charts and dominate headlines on her own terms. Even when she's in tears, talking about missing her kid's first day of school, she spins that pain into power. It makes her relatable. She's not just Cardi the superstar, she's Belcalis the mom, the hustler, the woman who's tired but still fighting. That duality is exactly why the culture stays locked in. The real twist here is how the industry will handle her next moves. With her divorce from Offset still fresh, Stefon Diggs' name being dragged into her business, and a pen toss that turned into meme history, Cardi's personal life is hotter gossip than her music right now. But that might actually work in her favor. If she leans into this moment, drops new music, keeps clowning the pen toss, and frames herself as the underdog fighting against bogus claims, she could ride this wave into her most dominant era yet. So where does that leave us? With Cardi, the only safe bet is that she'll surprise everyone. She turned a $24 million threat into a unanimous victory, a courthouse meltdown into viral marketing, and a pen throw into pop culture history. If Ellis really appeals, Cardi might just turn round 2 into another win, another meme, and maybe even another gavel-themed album cover. Because if Cardi can throw a pen with that much force, imagine what she's about to throw at the entire industry next. So what did we just witness? Cardi B didn't just beat a $24 million lawsuit. She turned a courtroom into a stage, a pen into a headline, and a messy rumor into marketing gold. From breaking down on the stand to breaking the internet with one quick toss, Cardi showed once again why she's one of the most unpredictable, unshakable forces in hip-hop. Love her or hate her, you can't ignore her, because every time the world tries to drag her down, she flips it into another viral win. And with appeals looming, offset drama brewing, and Diggs rumors flying, you already know this story isn't over. But what do you think? Did Cardi cross the line with that pen toss, or was she just setting boundaries the only way she knows how? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We'll be reading everything. And don't forget, only 20% of the people watching are subscribed right now. Let's change that. Hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell, and share this video with a friend who loves hip-hop drama as much as you do. Trust me, you're not going to want to miss what comes next. Because if Cardi B can turn a courtroom meltdown into meme history, imagine what her next move will be.